Hey guys, welcome to Suff Videos, and today I'm going to be talking about why I was homeless, which is a question that I get asked quite a lot actually. I quite often get a comment on one of the videos on one of the live streams that I did last year, asking if it was fake, asking what was going on, why I ended up sleeping on the streets for so long, and quite a lot of it I can't go into, but the long and short of it was, I just thought I'd make a video just because the amount of people that were asking, I thought it'd be better just to make a video and go, yo, go look here, this is where you can find out what happened. So essentially, I was dating someone for about a year, I think, maybe a year and a half, and they lived a long way away from where I was living, which was Edinburgh in Scotland. They lived down very bottom of England, near London, or near Bristol I should say. And so I sort of trip-sheeted back and forth between there quite a lot. And there was a point after the breakup where I was essentially, a few actions that my ex had taken basically made it impossible for me to leave the town that I was in. I was unable to leave. It would be illegal for me to try and leave that town, so I was stuck there, like indefinitely. At that point, I was stuck. I was unable to leave. So when I was stuck in there, I started renting a room. Well, I started renting a flat, I should say, and I ran out of money for that pretty quickly because I was working in a small pub at the time in the town. And I ran out of money pretty quickly for the flat. It was just a studio apartment. And then after that, I moved into a house share, and I was in there for 2 months. And then I ran out of money again, and I ended up making friends with a couple of people that lived on the streets down there. And there was a lot more homeless people down there than I thought originally. They seemed to stick away from it, or they go to the bigger towns during the day to try and make some money. But yeah, and I ended up sleeping, basically, the place that I slept was, there was a main street and you could turn up it, and there was a car park behind Iceland or something, and there was a small little garden, which was like named after a royal figure or something, and there was a bench in there, it was hidden away. I slept in there in this nice sleeping bag, and I had my bag that I sort of looked around it, and I had it through my arms and no one would take it, and I slept there for quite a long time. And it was, honestly, I didn't find it that bad. I mean, I did it during the summer. I only had a couple of nights when it started to get cold. The nights when it was raining were really, really, really crap. Like, it was honestly terrible when it was raining. But I wasn't even getting wet half the time. It was just under the sleeping bag and the noise of it hitting it. And if it was really intense, it did come under. And at that point, I used to go back to the pub that I worked in, and they had a little sort of shelter bit at the back, and I used to sort of sit there. Or I had sort of an arrangement with McCall's shop, and they let me sort of go into the bit where their newspapers are kept. So I used to sit in there away from the rain. So yeah, that's what I did in there. If anyone wants any advice on like how I got food and how I got by during that time, feel free to ask down below, because this is just a really quick video to go over that, because I mean, I'll go into some of it now actually, because there's no point making 2 videos on this. So as I said, I was working a small job, and the job that I was working was in a pub, and upstairs was sort of like the original flat for the pub, and it wasn't getting used, no one was staying in it, so I was allowed to go up there sort of occasionally and use the shower. There was no place for me to stay, it was damp and stuff up there, but there was a shower, and the shower room was fine, so I was able to shower in there, I was able to keep clean. And the pub that I was working in as well also fed me. They also gave me quite a lot of food in exchange for me working. They paid me in money as well, and I got food in exchange as well, which was really good, so I didn't have to look for food that much. And the times when I wasn't working there, the amount of people, just if you're sat on the side of the road, people always stopped. Every morning, I used to sit outside on Nat West. Every single morning I'd have someone come by and offer me bacon sandwiches or McDonald's or something like that. People would give me something, because Costa was like across the road from where I was sitting, so people used to come over with Costas. It was amazing. People used to come over and give me money all the time. People would come over and talk to me, and I felt the advice that I was given when I first became homeless, I think it holds really true, is the streets do provide. The streets will always provide for you, no matter who I spoke to, no matter what walk of life they were in like a homeless scenario. They always agreed with the streets will provide. And I would say that the amount I was eating better when I was homeless than I ever have before. The amount of food that I was getting, and it was good food as well half the time. Obviously some unhealthy stuff like McDonald's, occasionally someone gave me a Subway, something like that. There was one time someone ordered a Domino's to where I was, which was amazing. Like, even the delivery guy was like, this is weird, and he handed me over, and I thought, oh god, am I gonna have to pay for this? As someone like ordered it as a joke or something. But no, it'd been paid for, and it had the delivery instructions to go to me, and I was just completely gobsmacked. I was lucky, because I was like 2 minutes later I would have left and gone to the place where I was sleeping, because it was really late. I never found it too difficult. There was occasional times where I did feel a bit endangered, but there was nothing major. It was normally like, because on a Friday night there was sort of the pubs and that, but everyone was everyone was really nice. I had one guy that caused a bit of grief for me a couple of times, but other than that, no. And in terms of like clothing and like warm clothing as well, I always had somebody that would come by and stop and offer me like bags of clothes, bags of this. It's amazing. Like I got so much clothes. Like the amount of caring people that were in. I don't know if it was just the town that I was in, or that, but everyone was so nice. And there was a few people as well that knew the reason that I was down there, because they knew like my ex and my ex's family, so they were more understanding of the situation why I was down there. And I was unable to leave. I was unable to afford a place for quite a while. I eventually got back into being able to rent a room again, which was great. And the second I was able to leave that town and come back up here to Edinburgh, it was never a day too soon. It was an amazing feeling when I knew I was allowed to leave and I got on that train to come back up here. It was the best feeling in the entire world, just to get out of that small town. It is a lovely town. I would probably move there if situations were different, but I absolutely loved it. The people down there were lovely. Everyone was beautiful down there. Well, not beautiful, but everything was really nice. So I would probably live down there if things were different. But yeah, and I was able to come back up here because I always used to say, because at the time I really despised it. Well, I didn't despise it, but I despised being in the town because I'm so used to living in a city. So I hated living in this little town with not much going on. Like you could walk from one side of it to the other side of it in about 10-15 minutes if you're sort of walking at my sort of pace. And I was thinking, I always used to say, like, I'm not going to say the name of the town obviously, but say that the name of the town was like, it was in Wiltshire basically. So I'd always be like, obviously not all of Wiltshire, but this town Wiltshire would be like, my hell, I will die, and my hell, I'll be welcomed back into this town. That will be my hell. I'll just never be able to allow to leave this town, and I hated that. That was like my idea of hell. But yeah, so that's what happened to me with my homelessness and everything that went down with that. If you do have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'm not going to make another video on this. I don't know why I said that originally, but if you have any questions about when I was homeless, or if you have anything you want me to answer, leave a comment down below. I will answer it. But other than that, thank you guys very much for watching this video, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that will stop me getting comments asking it. It won't. Peace.